Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back again. Glad to have you. Excited for this one. I am doing a special SpaceX Launch Father's Day stream, and I'm joined by the minis. Mini Mighty, Mini Meat.
Hello. Hi.
So they're gonna help us bring the coverage today, and we are watching the SpaceX PSN SATRIA mission. This is an Indonesian satellite that's going to be going to geosynchronous orbit. Geosynchronous orbit is much further than the Earth orbit away from Earth, so it requires a little bit more oomph. But the Falcon 9, with its 1.7 million pounds of thrust, is more than capable. So I'm going to say hi to everybody, and then we'll get going. What's up, Greedy? What's up, BGF? Hello, Mystic. What's up, Jason? What's up, Thorium? Hey, Shenny. Your mother said hello. You're not going to say hi back?
Hi. Hi.
What's up, Deez? Shenny? Oh, don't start with that dumb crap. Is the Earth flat?
No.
What do we think of people that think the Earth is flat?
I don't know.
Crazy.
They're cuckoo.
So, no, I mean, do you remember asking an astronaut if the Earth was flat in Ohio? You don't remember that?
No. Did they say it was round?
He did say it was round. He kind of discussed it, but you guys got to come up just a little bit too. But yeah, the Earth is certainly round. So let's dispel that before we get started. That's your fault, Greedy. So we've had go for prop load. We had a 60% launch window. They have cleared upper level winds for this launch window. As of now, they begin propellant loading, and we'll get started right there with the countdown event. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're at a concert, aren't you? I hope it's going well for you, buddy. So we'll start right over here. Hi, Parabellum. So here's kind of our countdown. Oops, if I share it. Here's kind of our countdown of operations. SpaceX Launch Director verifies go for propellant load. That has happened. That takes us at least 38 minutes away. But everything seems to be going very well. Oh yeah, love rockets. So then at 35 minutes, we start loading the RP1 rocket kerosene, and they'll load that pretty much this entire countdown. After the 35-minute mark, which has already begun, so we're definitely there, they also start loading the liquid oxygen. So that also begins at the same time. And the liquid oxygen helps the RP1 burn to produce thrust to get the rocket into orbit. Do you have something? You can jump in anytime.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I already had this one up. 16 minutes, we start loading the second stage with liquid oxygen. They're separate tanks. So, and that second stage LOX is much smaller. So we load the main tanks on the first stage. The first stage that is making its 12th flight today. 12th flight for this booster. So that's pretty spectacular. At about 7 minutes, that's when the cool stuff starts to happen. Falcon 9 begins engine chill prior to launch. 1 minute or T-minus 1 minute. Command flight computer to begin final pre-launch checks. When I was welding outside. Oh, yeah, that sucks. Welding is really bright, but she should be all right. Propellant tank pressurization to flight pressure. So you'll get boil off. You'll get there's all kinds of depress vents so that it doesn't explode. So they need to pressurize it. So they do that with various things, usually nitrogen. At T-minus 45 seconds, SpaceX Launch Director verifies go for launch. Oh, you haven't missed anything yet. We're just talking about the mission profile. So 3 seconds, engine controller command, ignition sequence to start. And then at T-minus 0, hopefully we have a Falcon 9 liftoff and an empty pad. That's not true at all. I don't think that's even possible. Hey, Tweety. So this is how this is going to happen today. So we're going to launch, ascent stage separation. It'll flip. The first stage will come back and land. So it will begin entry burn, aerodynamic guidance with those one-piece grid fins made of titanium. It will then have a vertical landing on an autonomous drone ship. So the rocket and the drone ship communicate, and the drone ship goes to the place to catch the rocket. The other way, we'll have fairing separation and then payload separation. This is launching from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And this is the post-launch countdown. We'll get into that a little bit later. First, I thought this was interesting. I was unclear or unsure that this was the case, but we got a couple minutes to kill, so we'll. That's true. That's very true. But it is certainly Kennedy Space Center in Florida. So Indonesia is the second country in Asia to launch a rocket. So did I already share that? Yeah.
Indonesian National Institute of Aeronautics and Space, or LAPAN, claims that it has successfully launched an experimental rocket, RX-4505, on Wednesday. The RX-450 rocket itself is an experimental standard rocket with a diameter of 450 millimeters and a flying range of 100 kilometers. The history of rockets and missiles in Indonesia began when Indonesia purchased various surface-to-air missiles from Soviet. In the Sukarno era, the purchase of weapons, including rockets or missiles, was carried out to prepare for the Dwi-Kora and Tri-Kora contrast.
Okay, I can't watch any more of it either. But so LAPAN is their I know, that's what I'm saying. So LAPAN is their experimental test vehicle. It is essentially an ICBM or a missile that they've repurposed. And again, I think it's good to see different space programs around the world. Are they high tech? No. Are they, are they up to standards that we would enjoy here? No. But it's something to pay attention to. So that's exactly, I mean, that's how most of them, including the United States, if you know a lot about the United States space program, they put down my Legos, little boy. We're gonna fight. So sorry, I got sidetracked. So we started with the Mercury Redstone project, which Huntsville. When you get people that sound like that, Sam's kind of creepy. So we started with the Redstone project, which was literally taking intercontinental ballistic missiles and strapping humans to them. So, so here's one more. This is more of what we're launching into space today. Nothing is off there. They know not to touch my Legos. You guys know not to touch my Legos, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have your own Legos, don't you?
No.
He's making fun of me because he said,
they're not in sets. They're in 2 huge bins.
"Oh, give me a break. You have like a million
we can't
sets."
Find one specific piece and need a million pieces to build a Lego.
Oh my God, you have too many Legos. He's making fun of me when his dad tells a kid not to touch his Legos. Something seems a bit off.
Exactly, because they're not yours.
Those are mine.
No.
Anyways, so this is a little bit more about the satellite that we'll be launching today. So, probably pretty close to on par. Hey, kitty. So, this is I'm gonna mute this because it doesn't do anything for it. So $52 million launch cost, Satria 1. It's an Indonesian geostationary communication satellite. So this will handle all kinds of communications and uplinks, probably for the government or for some military installation. Nope, they're Legos. Friday nights, baby. So yeah, there's not a lot of there's not a lot on the payload specifically, but it's a pretty good size rocket. So or satellite, excuse me. The rocket that we're providing the ride today is the well-known Falcon 9 Block 5. It's 70 meters tall, 3.65 meters in diameter, 549 tons of launch mass, and we're not going to LEO, but it can take 22,000 pounds or kilograms to low Earth orbit. And I think that's it, but I'll let it play. Oh, location. So we'll be launching out of Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral, Florida. I should put something like this together because I'm capable of doing so, and then I won't have to steal somebody else's. But 889 rockets have been launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, USA. I didn't fact check that, but it seems pretty accurate. Oh, here's a trajectory map. We're going to be going straight east out of Florida. Please put it down, dude. I'm working on building it. And you're going to break it. And I'm going to get upset. Have you guys ever seen a rocket launch?
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about it?
No. Yeah. Because I don't remember. I remember.
Go for it.
So I think we were on rocks and we saw a rocket launch.
You gotta speak up a little bit.
I don't remember that well. Where did we go? Down at Florida.
Uh-huh.
And we were at Daytona?
Yes.
Daytona Beach. And then we woke up, I think, at the middle of the night to go watch the rocket launch. We went over to this parking lot.
Speak up so people
We
can
went
hear.
over to this parking lot where we could see the rocket from a great view.
What else did we do? We went to the beach. And who did we have dinner with?
One of your friends?
Steve? Gosney?
Yeah.
That was fun too, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went to see Steve.
And we had ice cream and barbecue.
Yeah.
Like it was almost the coolest day ever, right?
Yeah, it was the coolest.
Almost.
Yeah. Almost. You guys also saw the Demo 2 mission from the beach, right?
Yeah.
So that one was a night mission, but the Demo 2 mission, we saw you guys were playing in the beach, in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool, isn't it? What?
I was going to say something more about the parking lot.
Oh, go for it.
But then you kind of...
Well, I just do that.
Mom and Dad went outside the car. We stayed inside.
Because there was a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There's Steve right there. See? Happy Father's
The
Day.
bugs really... Well, I really react to them when they bite them.
Yep.
Let's just say that. So, we stayed in, and we were renting a Tesla, so there was like a window on the top so we could see it, but Chaz was still fast asleep.
Steve says Happy Father's Day. He's the guy you gave a card to. We went to dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Dad, I said Chaz.
He's watching. See? What did you guys have for dinner with Steve?
I think we
Barbecue?
had... Yeah, barbecue.
Really good barbecue, right? And then ice cream.
Yep.
Plus, it was really late. It was like
I like
2 o'clock in the
bugs.
morning, and
I like bugs.
they were half asleep.
Bugs are cool.
The Tesla was fantastic, but yeah, I was getting to that. Happy Father's Day to you as well, Steve. Do you want to tell him Happy Father's Day?
Happy Father's Day, Steve.
Happy Father's Day.
And everybody else?
And
everybody else.
I don't remember what. I think I had pulled pork, but I can't remember. It was good. I remember that.
I remember it was good.
Aren't you busy, though? I thought you were busy, Steve. How's that going, buddy? I know you were going to be really busy for a while, but... That's not going to happen. So, back to... Oh, okay. No worries. I appreciate having you. I just knew you were really busy, so... So the landing... The Falcon 9 core... Again, this will be its 12th flight, so it'll be its 12th landing. Falcon 9 first stage will attempt to land on ASDS after this flight. Autonomous drone ship. It's probably just read the instructions, but I don't know which one's out there. And yeah, that's about it. So it will have a payload fairing. It'll be a fun one. So we'll go back over here. So after we have liftoff, after we have a successful liftoff, let's say, and there's no humans on this one, so this will. So After we have liftoff, we'll have a max Q, moment of peak mechanical stress on the rocket, which we've talked about, and I'll talk about again for sure. 2 minutes and 33 seconds, we have MECO, which is main engine cutoff to prepare for landing. Oh, no, we're not going on that. Not going on
It's so something about your father will make a laugh.
that. No, I see the wheels turning. Nope.
Yeah. That's so
That would be cool.
I would never do that. But he would.
We have a second engine start, SES-1 at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, that big payload fairing will deploy, exposing the spacecraft to the elements. And then around the same time, that first stage entry burn will start to orient it to the drone ship. 6:54. So we have about a 19-second entry burn for that first stage. And then at 8:10, what? You want to answer that question? Of course you do.
Brett, what do you think?
Oh,
He says spiders. He says totally spiders.
let's think about what they were that. I mean, I feel like in a battle,
He's saying spiders are better.
The snakes would win because
he's just saying spiders are better, guys. Nothing to see.
Well, if snakes actually ate spiders,
thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Another proven track.
They won't because snakes eat spiders. So the spiders would overpower them and kill them.
A snake would probably kill a spider, but
millions of spiders versus one snake.
I know. You could just have a number of spiders and then you win, right?
Trillions. Billions of spiders.
I never want to see billions of spiders.
You do.
Nope.
You do.
Trillion spiders. 999 trillion spiders. How about we do that?
You just don't know.
999 trillion snakes.
All right. I'm going to get back to the show just for a second, but I appreciate the spiders conversation. Now that there's a proven track record for a successful landing of Falcon 9, when or will there ever be one for the moon, or is that a massive stretch? So that's a massive stretch. It's highly successful rocket. So we're starting to see a lot more flight proven Falcon 9s, obviously, than new boosters. So here's just some information on that. And this is Falcon Heavy and Falcon 9. So they're getting really good at doing these specific landings. However, there is... Oh, I didn't mean to go there. However, they are developing the big, beautiful Starship in Boca Chica, Texas. And that is going to be the primary landing vehicle for the moon. Artemis 4 actually utilizes a Starship for an autonomous landing on the surface of the moon. It is going to be the second moon landing after Artemis 3. I've actually seen the nose cone that they will use for the Artemis 4 program at Boca. So I might have a picture of it. I'll maybe post one, but they do. They absolutely do. What's up, Oz? I did. Thank you. Anything that eat mosquitoes are good in my book.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
That's Ozzy. He's in...
Yes.
He's in Australia.
Show us.
Show us the photo.
Show us.
And they have everything that will eat you.
Show us
Exactly.
photos.
Yeah, so Sean, 2025 looks like the earliest. It was supposed to be 2023. They are ridiculously behind, but it looks like 2025. So I don't know. So Artemis 2 is supposed to go, I believe, in 25. Artemis 3 will be shortly thereafter, and then Artemis 4 will be the SpaceX program. The site is still suspended. They are revamping and rebuilding it as we speak. They added a deluge system, and they are getting approval from the FAA while building. So they're building it in the interest of the FAA this time. No.
Yes.
No. There was a giant snake in Diablo, and I hated it.
There was? Wow, you must have such a great life, Dad. Such a great life.
Photos of snakes killed by spiders.
Show us.
No.
Show us.
Ozzy's a bad influence.
Come on, Ozzy.
No, he's not.
Show us.
He's not a bad influence.
To guide you through the PSN SATRIA mission today.
Show us.
The rocket on your screen is Falcon 9 and gets
He'll
its
send
name
them to
from
me,
the
I'm sure.
Millennium Falcon from Star Wars
Yay.
and the 9 Merlin engines located at the very bottom of the vehicle. Standing at around 230 feet tall,
This is SpaceX's
Falcon 9
coverage.
is loaded up with
Thank you for
nearly
the
1
coverage,
million
SpaceX.
pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen prior to
There's your
liftoff,
puffy
and
stuff,
is able
Greedy.
to transport payloads like today's satellite and people to various orbits in space.
Do you see
To
the
top it
puffy
off,
stuff coming
Falcon
out?
9 is also the
Yeah.
world's first and only reusable orbital class rocket.
Do you know what that's for?
The F9 rocket you see on screen is made up of 2 main
That's
stages.
fuel.
The first stage, or booster, which is the largest section towards the bottom, and the
Oh,
second
there are
stage, which
plenty of
will
big
eventually
spiders in
take up our
D4
payload
too.
to its destination
I
in
kill
space.
them all the time.
You might be able to tell
I
from the
want
soot
to
around the
see
bottom
them
that
all
the
the
first stage
time.
supporting today's launch has seen
Diablo
its fair
isn't
share of space travel.
A
That soot
child-friendly
that you
game.
see all around the first stage is formed when the carbon-based fuel we use,
I don't
RP1
care.
kerosene,
I like
is burned.
spiders.
And as the booster approaches the landing site during descent, it does a long re-entry burn to slow down prior to
Yep.
re-entering
It's
the
liquid
atmosphere.
oxygen because
Yeah,
the
puppy stuff.
oxygen
And because the
is
re-entry occurs
really,
engines
really
first,
cold.
the
Minus
booster flies through its
238
own
degrees.
plume, which then deposits the soot onto the rocket.
And
And
Florida
if you watch the feed from the onboard camera during landing, you can see the soot sticking on the lens.
Sticky. So
Flying for its 12th time
that's
today,
the
a few minutes after
the
liftoff, we'll
cold
be
meeting
attempting
the
to
hot
recover the
and
booster
making the
once
puppy
again
stuff.
on our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas. And as mentioned, there are 9 M1D engines at the bottom of the booster
You're all
that are
right,
used to
Tristan.
accelerate the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere.
No, it is not
Moving
a
up,
child-friendly
The
game.
first and second
It is.
stages are connected by the
No,
inner
it's
stage,
not.
which has
It is
pneumatic
not.
pushers that allow
is
stage
Carbon-based
separation
fuel
during
is
flight.
people.
The inner stage
Maybe.
also houses the Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine, that's connected to the second stage. The Merlin engines at the bottom of the first stage and the MVAC are nearly identical, except the MVAC engine has a larger nozzle that allows the second stage to perform better in the vacuum of space. And we'll probably have some
So this is our next major event to happen. We should see engine chill in about 8-10 seconds. Engine chill has started,
protect the
so
payload
right
from
on time.
aerothermal loads, heating, and contamination during ascent. Much like our first stage, we recover most fairing halves and use them again on future launches. The fairing
I'm
halves
fueled by
supporting
people.
today's mission
People
are
like
also
Jacob
flight proven,
Castro,
with
who is
one
a
half
wonderful
flying for
viewer
its
of this
7th
channel.
time and the other its 9th. Once we reach the vacuum of space, the fairing halves will separate, and we'll attempt to recover them again using our recovery vessel, Doug.
Looks
Now,
like
with liftoff in
RP1
about 6.5
is
minutes from now,
complete.
let's learn a little bit more about the mission at hand.
So we should have fuel load complete. I have no idea. It is though. Oh, I was looking for this, but I couldn't find their video from Indonesia. But so they're providing internet to the Indian archipelago. So it will not be. It will be in geosync, so it will be at a fixed point. So it's able to give internet to the island chain that is Indonesia. Digital transparent processor. So it's a good sized satellite. Those are, powerful telecom satellites in Asia. I think it's interesting that they had the United States launch it, but
Today's launch actually marks SpaceX's 200.
Okay, I'm not going to listen to her. I'll talk instead. So we're starting to, we should see this strong back retract in about a minute. The strong back is this metal fixture that's holding up the rocket until it's ready for launch. We should see that any time now. Just waiting for strong back retracts. Oh, they have it on their thing now. Okay. So that shows us that we're definitely go. I'm going to listen to it so you guys don't have to because she's annoying. All right. So we're starting to see the strong back retract, which is right on time. Perfect timing. So like I said, I think I might have misspoke, but the kerosene has been fully loaded. We are about 40 seconds from stage 1 LOX load complete, so liquid oxygen. And then the stage 2 will be shortly thereafter. So now we're just kind of in this holding mode for the next 4 minutes. We're about 4 minutes to launch. And SpaceX's feed is just a little bit behind. It's got about a 45-second true delay from me. So it's going to be close to a minute from you. So Steve, run outside before we get to 2 minutes because that will be about the time. So there's still possibility for a hold. Of course, up until, but weather looks good. Launch conditions look good. Point and rocket go whoosh, whoosh. That's my scientific explanation. It's about right. Yeah, Diablo is really old. Will be the future oil. That's a good way to think of things. Will be useful. Let's see. SpaceX does make it look incredibly easy.
Yeah.
Ridiculously easy.
SpaceX does make it look ridiculous.
Yeah. You could, like I said, you can talk. You just have to let me know, okay? All right, so we should be loaded with fuel altogether. So now we're starting to get to those critical parts where there's a poll going on behind the scenes, a go, no-go poll final. In about 70 seconds, we'll start to see...
Smoke.
Not smoke, we'll see... we'll start to see... Well, we won't see it, actually, but it will start transferring communications over to the onboard computers, and it will be all ready to go. So we're getting close. So we're about 48 seconds. So real time, it's probably already done it. I don't know why SpaceX has a delay, but we saw that on the Chinese rocket program as well. So I don't know if it's a new, let's delay it, but there are some other feeds that have up to date. I just like using the SpaceX feed because they don't strike me. So about 90 seconds, a little bit closer away. We should start seeing, I can go over to their audio actually.
Listening for is also one she explained to you. That's going to be that Falcon 9 is in startup mode and that the internal flight computers have taken over the terminal count.
And we should see that in about 5 seconds.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Almost perfect timing. Falcon 9
The final milestone we're listening for on the nets is the call out from the launch director that we are go for launch.
What's up, GT Tech? Blah. Sorry.
That's LD on countdown. Go for launch.
We are go for launch.
There you hear it. We are just over 30 seconds from liftoff, and all systems are go for the launch of Falcon 9 and the SATRIA payload. Go Falcon 9, go PSN.
T minus 30 seconds.
Go SpaceX. 30 seconds to launch.
15 seconds.
T minus 10 seconds.
T minus 10, 9,
And we'll
8,
mute until we get on the other side.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And lift off. Go Falcon, go PSN. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal. Vehicle is pitching downrange.
And again, they make it look easy. We have a successful launch.
That incredible view means that Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from pad 40. And right now we are throttling down to prepare for max Q in about 30 seconds. As you may have heard us explain before, this is the period of highest aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle.
Power and telemetry nominal.
That's because
God,
at this point, we are seeing the
without her
greatest
voice.
difference in dynamic pressure, which is increasing with the rocket's speed, and ambient static pressure, which is decreasing as we move up through the Earth's atmosphere.
Oh, shoot, should I call
Vehicle
that?
is supersonic.
So there's the pitch
With
down.
that call out, we know that Falcon 9 is moving faster than the speed of sound.
Might go boom in a minute. Socials Gamer TV. I don't think so. It is SpaceX. They're pretty good at this. So
Max
there's Max
Q.
Q.
With confirmation that we've passed through max Q, we have 3 events coming up in quick succession, starting with main engine cutoff, stage separation, SES1, or second engine start 1. Main engine cutoff.
Okay, I don't want to listen to her. Every time I hear the roar of a rocket, all I can remember is Sally Ride. Yeah, and rockets, to hear the roar of a rocket in person, if it's something you haven't ever done, I highly suggest it, highly recommend it. It is incredible. It is a full body sensation if you can get close enough to hear it. So it's about 30 kilometers in altitude. It's going about 4,000 kilometers per hour. We're starting to see that big plume because it's starting to throttle down for MECO. Yeah, the pedals, the jets that come off the Falcon are incredible. They're just really cool. So clouds there. Yeah, weather was 60% when they lifted off, Steve. So that's not surprising that it was unseeable for the most part. Unfortunate, but so now we're seeing main engine cutoff, or MECO. So we'll start seeing the separation. There it is. And so the second piece is now, for all intents and purposes, in space. We're going to start seeing that first stage come back down to Earth. There's the deployable grid fins. So those are machined out of a solid piece of titanium for the utmost strength and durability. And they're pretty huge. So pretty big grid fins. And those will steer it back down. I don't think so, Tweety, but I've never heard of a Lamborghini. But so there's our fairing separation. So now the spacecraft is exposed to the vacuum of space. So now we are unquestionably in space. Max U something is 1,000 miles per hour. I'm trying to remember. Max Q is... It's not... It actually throttles down, so I don't know. I would say it's probably around there. Yeah. Looks flat. Shut up, Ozzy. So that first stage is going at 7,532 miles an hour, or kilometers per hour, and slowing down. It's at an altitude of 126 kilometers. So it's going to be still rising because it's still going up. We'll start seeing that go the other way. And our payload is at 11,000 kilometers per hour. And now that it doesn't have the atmosphere to work against it and drag, it can pick up speed pretty quickly. So it is going to geostationary, so it's going to go a lot faster. So it depend on the atmosphere, because altitude, because the atmosphere gets thinner the higher you are. Yep. So now we're starting to see. It is, Jacob. It's terrible. So now we're starting to see it come back down. Altitude is 114 kilometers. Essentially, the flip is to burn off some of the speed and reorient it. Really cool views from SpaceX. So as we see, we're continuing to accelerate over here on the right, stage 2. And stage 1 is coming back down to Earth.
Just hit 15,000.
Yep, 15,000 kilometers per hour. That's fast.
Super fast.
I was more inclined to point out that space is done in kilometers and not miles. Well, would you like me to convert it for you, sweetie? So this game's movie. I can do that on my bike. That would be fun to watch. No, titanium is not cheap. Yep.
Oh, flat Earth.
It's 1.6, so it's 0.8. So, well, now we're going way too fast. Let's see. So 20,000 would be, because we'll get to 20,000. 20,000 would be 16,000 miles per hour. So, ish. God, I hate this lady's voice, but I kind of want to hear what.
CRS-22, Crew 3 and Crew 4, Turksat 5B, CRS-25,
guidance.
Eutelsat HOTBIRD 13G, O3B mPOWER, and 4 Starlink missions.
Okay, so our stage 2, again, we are not going to low Earth orbit. We're going to geosynchronous orbit.
We'll also be coming up on SECO 1 or second engine cutoff 1 in about 30 seconds from now.
The telemetry is going to look like, but I think we get close to 30,000.
Stage 1 transonic. Stage 2 FTS was saved.
See that MVAC continuing to glow bright orange.
Was trying to, it's 0.6, not 0.8.
Until SECO 1.
Or thereabouts. Is that orange heat? Well, that's the bell of the nozzle heating.
I'm gonna orbit insertion.
MVAC shut down.
Great call.
Oh, I know.
For SECO 1 and nominal orbital
Stage 1 lash
insertion.
burn.
Transonic.
Expected loss of signal, Cape Canaveral.
All right. So you see those titanium grid fins
There's that view
moving.
of
We'll have
landing
cutoff.
burn.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Landing leg deployed and perfect landing yet again. Always beautiful. Always fun to watch.
And a great view of landing. This landing marks the 12th successful landing for this particular booster and marks our 201st overall successful recovery of an orbital class rocket. In addition to landing with confirmation of successful second engine cutoff and good orbit, we are going into a coast phase up until the second relight of our MVAC engine on the second stage, which will be followed by payload deploy. Till then, sit tight and we'll see you back here at the T plus 27 minute mark.
And I'm not going to stay that long because I'm going to go hang out with my kids. Yeah, it's so cool to see.
Yeah, it really is so cool.
It is really cool to see. Men are, yeah. Yep. So I know. I'm sorry. I just wanted to hear what was going on that I didn't have. Yeah, absolutely. It didn't explode on the surface. So yeah, another successful mission for the Indonesian space program for internet for the chain islands. SpaceX never ceases to amaze. So 27,487, and that speed will decrease as it orbitally decays, and then they'll speed up with the relight, blah blah blah, normal. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and enjoying the launch. Steve, good to see you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully everything's going well with your case. Special thanks to the minis. You want to say anything?
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Do you have
Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe.
You got it.
Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe.
You mess up.
That's a mess. He's a mess.
Whatever.
All right. Oh, we do. But yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody, and thank you for hanging out with me. And thank you guys for chilling with me and watching the launch. So, all right, we'll catch you guys all later. And special thanks to Brian for the outro music. Have a good one. Take care.